Hi, Mr. Joe. Hi, Mr. Anthony. Vanakkam, Dhanush. I'd like to begin with the Russos. You had mentioned that in your interviews that you've seen a couple of clips of Dhanush in his action films. What was it about Dhanush as an action star that sort of gave you the conviction that, you know, he's the guy that you guys were looking for?
Well, we were looking for someone who could play this, you know, the best assassin in the world. And we've got a lot of big movie stars in the film, so you need somebody with real charisma who's going to be able to hold the screen, and when they show up, you're going to believe that, you know, that they're better than everyone else in the movie. You know, he has such a charisma and a presence, the way he holds his body, the way he controls his body. Being an action star requires, you know, very physical gifts, speed, grace on camera, and he possessed all of those things. So, you know, if we watched a few clips, we thought, oh, boy, he should really play this character because it's exactly what we're looking for. We were looking at those action clips for inspiration, for ideas about fight choreography, and his clips kept coming up. So we just said, you know, it'd be smart if we just go get him, if we ask him to play this part.
Right.
I also think Dhanush has a quality. You know, I always I think of this actor Marlon Brando when I describe this quality, because he has this quality where when he's on camera, your eye just goes to him for some reason. And there was something, I think Dhanush has that same quality. Your eye just, he has this presence that that just pulls your eye. And there was something nice about like the fact that there were all these assassins coming to get what they wanted from the gray man, but there's only one that's actually going to get it. And it's sort of like, it's that sort of the weight that Dhanush had to like sort of pull focus to him for that moment was very nice for the role.
Right.
Yeah.
Dhanush, you joked about how you kept asking people about how the Russos knew about you. Apart from the Russo factor, what was it about this particular character that sort of made you say, okay, I'm game for it?
I said it in a funny way, but I was not joking. I was very serious. I was asking everybody like how they know about me. Well, apart from the Russos, the character itself is like they said, Avik San is the only guy who, you know, gets the drive, gets him, and he's mysterious and he has his own morals, his own code. And the way they described the character, you know, very well dressed, drives fancy cars, and you know, very suave. And I kind of liked it. And I've been playing the good guys for a long time now, and I found this a very good opportunity to play a baddie. Not exactly a baddie, and then it turns out to be like there are more shades to him. So I found it very interesting, and yeah, then I was like, yeah, I should do this definitely.
Right. So when you get an opportunity to be part of a mainstream Hollywood film, even though you know that it's more like an extended cameo kind of a role, how much depth do you think you could bring into the character, or was it just like, you know, I'm in this film and I'm just going to, my job is to execute what my directors want?
See, every career, wherever you go, whatever you do, there's always, you know, there's more to learn and there's more territories to explore. There's a new door that was opening, and right away, I can't just say like, you know, I'll only play the main lead. You know, like this is an opportunity, and it's up to me how well I make use of this opportunity. Right. You know, if you're smart enough, you can make an impact within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Depends what kind of makers you're with, what is their input, how well they capture you, and how good your character is. Even if it's 10 minutes or 12 minutes, how good your character is. And I found this as a great opportunity, and I just wanted to make use of it the most, and I hope I did.
So this is a question to the Russo brothers. You had mentioned in your interviews that you spoke a bit about how you were heavily influenced by the 70s and 80s thrillers in Hollywood. You've also mentioned films like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. What was so specific about these films that influenced you in getting The Gray Man made?
Well, I think one we really like, they have a combination of action, intensity, but with humor as well. And we like that combination.
Right.
We like the sort of the experience of flowing between moments of tension and moments of fun and moments of levity. And I think it was that special combination. Also, the idea that you've got your sort of like there's a central character that is being put through sort of like an impossible test.
Right.
Are they going to survive? You know, we like that sort of that energy of that like a single character running a gauntlet
Right.
through a film. And I would say with those two qualities are kind of what we were looking to emulate in this movie.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I was at the premiere last night, and one of the things that really worked for me, at least in this film, was how how thrilling the action sequences were, and the way you choreograph your action scenes is something that defines you as filmmakers, is what I believe. Can you talk a bit about how you guys think and write your action sequences?
Yeah, it's all character based for us. I mean, you know, you're putting an action scene in the movie to advance the story and to illuminate something about the character. You know, an action film is really just a series of obstacles that are put in the way of the lead character as they try to accomplish their goal. And I think for us, you know, it's a combination of trying to be inventive, but the primary goal always is what are we learning about the character through this sequence? And you know, how are we rooting for them to overcome, you know, the obstacle that's currently in their way? And that's how we choreograph. We like to go to the locations, think through what could possibly happen, where could it go from here. So it's very iterative, very organic process.
Right, right. Action is something that's not new to you, Dhanush, and it's integral part of Tamil cinema, right? So, could you talk a bit about how different the action choreography is when it comes to a Hollywood production?
The thing is, we do a lot of films a year, you know, like we do 4 films a year, 3 films a year, and there's very less time to train for a stunt sequence. You know, the max we train would be like 3 to 4 days before we start filming. But here it's actually different, you know. They film only like limited days, but they train longer,
Right.
like more than a month and a half for one set piece. We trained, all the actors trained, and it was amazing to learn these things. And the way I started approaching stunt sequences here,
Right.
again, changed completely.
Right.
So it helped me to see a new dimension, and that's what I meant before. There's always so much to learn, and
Right.
every opportunity you have to make the most of it. So I learned so much from the stunt choreographers, from the stunt team, and I feel there's going to be a big difference from how I used to do stunt scenes before and how I'm going to do it after.
Right, right. So I have one last question to the Russo brothers. I'm sure you would agree to the fact that the pandemic has changed the way films are being made, and it has also changed the way films are consumed globally. And what we have been seeing across the world is all these big tentpole films doing amazing businesses in theaters. And Grey Man, in fact, had a limited theatrical release in the US. As the creators of these big tentpole films, where do you think we are headed as far as cinema is considered as a film community watching experience?
I think that you're going to see a balance between digital distribution and cinema.
Right.
I think that people love to receive storytelling. I think that our appetite is so big, you know, that you can't go to the movie every day, but you want to watch content. You want to watch a story every day. So I think and I think you'll see most digital distributors doing theatrical windows on some of their biggest movies, but not, I would say, a very small percentage, but some of their biggest films. I think that's where it's headed. And we think ultimately, at some point in the next few decades, you're going to see a transition from two-dimensional storytelling into more immersive, three-dimensional storytelling as technology advances.
Right.
I think, you know, this is theatrical technology. It's 100 years old at this point, you know,
Right.
taking a bulb and projecting an image on a wall or a screen. at some point that's going to become part of this experience.
Right, right.
You know, and I think you'll see that there are stories that can be told in a more profoundly emotional and immersive way that more it becomes three-dimensional.
Right.